The Civil War, the turning point. By 1863, the war was not going well for the Union. The South had won battle after battle, and Lincoln's popularity was sinking with every Union defeat. Then, in July of 1863, the Union won 2 battles that marked the turning point of the Civil War. In the Western Theater, the Union had control over Nashville and New Orleans, but Vicksburg lay in the way of total control of the Mississippi. The several attempts to previously capture Vicksburg had failed. Then, on May 1863, General Grant laid siege on Vicksburg, bombing the city day and night. A woman who lived in Vicksburg wrote,
"We are utterly cut off from the world, surrounded by a circle of fire. The shower of shells goes on day and night. The shells are equally terrible."
On July 4, 1863, the Confederates surrendered. Vicksburg was now the Union's, and the Confederacy was split in two. Over in the Eastern Theater, the Confederates invaded the Union. Led by Robert E. Lee, the Confederate Army was met outside the small town of Gettysburg, PA, by Union forces under the command of George C. Meade. Though outnumbered, the Union troops were able to hold their position until late afternoon when Confederate reinforcements entered the fighting. The Confederates were able to drive the Union out of Gettysburg and onto Cemetery Hill. The Confederates had won the very first day of the Battle of Gettysburg. The second day of fighting was very much the same. That day, neither side really won. The Union had lost around 10,000 men, while the Confederates had lost around 6,800 men. On the third and final day of the Battle of Gettysburg, Lee ordered General Pickett and his men to lead a charge to cut the Union line in half. So, on July 3, 1863, Pickett led approximately 12,500 men on a march through an open field. Though they eventually reached enemy lines, thousands of Pickett's men had already been killed by Union artillery fire. The charge had failed, and Lee was forced to retreat from the battlefield. The Battle of Gettysburg was over, and the Union had won, but an estimated amount of over 23,000 Union men had been killed, wounded, or captured. In 1864, Ulysses S. Grant was appointed to command all of the Union forces. By May of 1864, General Grant was marching towards the Confederate capital, Richmond, to capture it. He and Lee fought many battles in his attempt to take the capital. Both sides suffered casualties, but as President Davis said,
"Theirs could be repaired, ours could not.